if I had loads of money in the bank, what would I be doing? And I'd want something that fulfills me. So let's say you're in Costa Rica in a tree. Okay, you built your tree, you've had your breakfast. What do you do for the rest of the day, every day, in your treehouse?
I think that from a masculine's perspective, because of the world that we live in today, we are taught that we have to be doing things all the time in order to be successful. I don't agree with that. I think success is a mindset. And the thing is, as well, is with success, once you have accomplished this thing, then it always gets to that peak where it's like, okay, I've done that. What's next?
I went on holiday to Turkey, and the Turkish man, he was driving the bus. He's like, okay, next stop is the California Hotel. And I went back in the accent. Okay, sir, where is the nearest kebab shop? The person I was with was appalled.
And I'm going to be very mindful with how I say this, because I understand like the world that we're living in terms of, especially with like gender and like pronouns and whatnot. I accept you. I accept people for whoever the fuck they feel like they are. People can accept me for me. If not, they don't accept me. But what pisses me off is when people force themselves upon you, say, I don't want to be addressed like this, or blah, 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 and expect the whole world to accept you or to accept how you want to be perceived.
First of all, not racist, I'm just doing an accent. Why can you do an Irish accent if you're white, but you can't do a Turkish accent if you're white? But then if you're black, you can do you can't do another black accent. It's like one rule for one rule for the other, right?
But this is the thing though, I think that people put too much emphasis on like innocent things. I feel like we need to learn to love ourselves so much that it doesn't matter if somebody else doesn't see you the way that you see yourself.
Right, so as I'm getting older, I'm realizing that people around me are starting to have families, they're starting to have kids, they're starting to get a house and a mortgage, and their free time that they once had is being taken up by family duties, by bin duties, by taking the kid here, getting new stones for the garden. And I'm at the point where I don't want any of that shit. So I'm like, how can I pass my time by? And right now, I go for walks, I go to the spa, I go to the sauna and steam in a nice bath.
Wait, can I just say, I'm sure you have a fur baby.
You mean a dog?
Yeah, a fur baby.
Yes, I do have a dog, but this is the point. The point is that I believe that, we naturally fall into this pattern of getting a partner and having a family, and now we've got a purpose for 20 years. And then when the kids piss off, you now don't have as much of a purpose, but then grandparent duties come in.
Are you talking society from like a normal societistic perspective? Societal.
Yeah, I'm generalizing about what the average person around me is doing and how they haven't got time to do anything. And I look at my life and I've got so much fucking time. I have to try and find things to do to pass the time by. So I'm like, what can I do to pass the time by? So you think, okay, I like doing all these pleasures, like going to the spa and walks, but I can't do that all the time. I need something else to do. And it's like, what do I do? And I love serving people. But then it comes down to finding something that is going to make you happy to do without having to rely on the luxuries as your default foundation of happiness.
Sorry, literally, like I was just listening and I could just imagine someone being like, get a job. Like, isn't that what normal people do? You've got so much time on your hands, but aren't normal people working though?
Yes, they are working. I obviously work for myself, have my business, do very minimal. You're right, most people, they're at work all day and they don't have time to do anything in the 3 hours that they've got when they come home. I don't work, so that's why I've got so much time, but it's like a blessing and a curse.
I feel like you're in a very what's the word? Not prestigious. It's a word that begins with P. It's like not priority. You're in a very privileged. You're in a very privileged situation, man. Don't complain for having too much time, motherfucker.
I'm extremely privileged, but like with any privilege, like having rich parents, that does come with the downside.
Rich parents.
No, I didn't have rich parents, but just imagine like rich parents of like rich kids. daddy's done everything, so they just like do drugs all day, live in their big houses. They don't have this purpose and this drive to survive because daddy did it all. So like with every good thing comes bad things.
Amen, brother.
Okay, would you like to talk?
Wait, so like, are we like, in your example, are we trying to get like to an end destination here, or are you just expressing that you have a lot of time?
I'm just expressing my thoughts right now of how can I pass my day by where I feel more fulfilled than just doing my usual spa, gym, walk,
Oh, you
which
don't
some
feel
would,
fulfilled.
huh?
You don't feel fulfilled.
No,
The
because
thing is,
I've
I feel
done.
like even I feel like sorry for interrupting, but I feel like even the people that have got like the kids and they've got a busy schedule, just because you're busy doesn't necessarily mean that you feel fulfilled because you're filling up your time with things to do. Do you know what I mean? I think like a person, I don't know, I feel like as I'm getting older and as my priorities have changed, I think like my ideal of success for me these days is to live in a tree house in Costa Rica, live on my time, which means I don't feel pressured to be doing this, to be doing that, etc., etc. Like obviously, I think that is important for everyone. And when I say to get a job, I don't mean like get a job. I think it's important for everyone to find something they love that's going to make you money so it doesn't necessarily feel like a job. I think that people in your situation would be best to get a hobby or to like find to fill. But then the thing is, like, you do podcasts, so like that's filling your time and can potentially be monetized if it is not already doing so.
Yeah, but this is the thing. It's not about money. I think if I had loads of money in the bank, what would I be doing? And I'd want something that fulfills me. So let's say you're in Costa Rica in a tree. Okay, you built your tree. You've had your breakfast. What do you do for the rest of the day, every day in your tree house?
I would love to go down to the beach, spend time with friends and family, to work on something that I love, whether like an artistic expression, whether it's dancing, whether it's painting, whether it's reading, and then trying to give back in a way, whether that's teaching yoga or whether it's teaching kids something new or talking about astrology or whatever, having a podcast. That would be my ideal way to spend time, but I feel like it differs for everybody. And I think that from a masculine's perspective, because of the world that we live in today, we are taught to that we have to be doing things all the time in order to be successful. I don't agree with that. I think success is a mindset. And the thing is, as well, is with success, once you have accomplished this thing, then it always gets to that peak where it's like, okay, I've done that. What's next? Do you know what I mean?
So you're in Costa Rica. Are you teaching these people on the ground in person or doing Zoom calls, which I absolutely hate? I wish that I could
Like
still,
Zoom calls.
huh?
You don't like Zoom calls.
Well, no, obviously, I'd rather have this conversation in person on the beach, right? But obviously, the world we live in is you can't connect with people like us just 5 minutes away. They're all spread out across the world. So, this vision of doing yoga and teaching and talking about astrology, do you mean like people within kind of a 20-minute distance from where your treehouse is?
Whoever will have me, really. Oh, I don't fucking care. If there's people in my space that come to my yoga class, fine. I feel like we just have to adapt, you know? If there's no one that is in my close facility, then take it virtual. I don't care.
So, if you take away like the money side of it, you'd still do that for free, right? If you're millions in the bank, what would you then still do in Costa Rica by
Oh,
your tree?
100%. Yeah, I would do all of the things that I said.
Alexa, shut up. Ziggy, shut it.
Oh my God.
I
How
do
rude.
apologize. My Alexa turned on.
So unacceptable, to be honest with you.
Yes, obviously you'd still do those same things whether money was involved or not, which is comes down to like the purpose and the passion and doing the things that make you feel fulfilled every day.
Yes, we would. But the things that make me feel fulfilled every day may change. So I really want to hold a microphone. I just feel like it seems more situational. Do you know what I mean?
So this is the point, right? So I would spend half my life in the jacuzzi meditating and
There
sort
we
of
go.
going.
I was waiting for everybody to come out. Right, what? What was she saying? You're sat in the jacuzzi.
Sat in the jacuzzi, meditating and thinking about all the things that I'm trying to process in my life. So I spent 55 minutes in the jacuzzi, right? Before
Right.
this podcast. I went in at 5, I left at 6. And I started to tingle because of the chlorine. But I was trying to go through, this is my passion. Not my passion. This is my hobby, my luxury. And going to the jacuzzi, meditating. But I'm like, I can't do that every day. It's getting
Good.
boring. I've been doing this
Okay.
literally since I was 18 years old, working for myself, going to the spa. I've done that and I need something else. I'm starting to
That's
get like a bit
bored.
agitated.
Okay. Okay. Do you know what the next step is?
Well, the next step is I want to travel and I want to video my
You're losing the
time with
accent.
people and I serve people.
Wait. Sorry. Can you repeat what you just said?
I want to do what I would do on the ground, which is service, however that may be, helping them walk their dog, helping them paint their garage, teaching their kids some piano or some accents, right? Fulfilling human service, but
Yeah.
around the world. So I travel around the world and I do that on the ground.
Yeah.
Because that's what it really comes down to: community, people, and human connection.
But don't you feel like you're working towards those goals though?
I am, but I'm like, I want it now, not 5 months down the line.
Yeah, I feel like that is you got some more meditating to do, mate. That's all. I think like I get your frustration. I get your frustration. But I feel like there are other smaller ways that you can impact your community where you're not like physically there. Do you know what I mean? Like even like the little things of like giving the homeless person a sandwich, or I don't know. There are things within your community that you can probably apply yourself to that will ultimately start making you feel fulfilled on little daily bases. That's not right. On daily basis. On a daily basis.
On a daily basis.
Yeah, and then it all accumulates, you know. You start perfecting your craft of just talking to a stranger. Even this is adding to what it is that you want to manifest in a long-term future, you know. I feel like you just need to be patient. You can't like rush the process. This is something that I'm dealing with right now because not even just me, I feel like a lot of people just like, we live in a day and age where things come to us so freaking fast, and we're in like an era where it's like if you try something, you don't like it, you can just so easily throw it away. But I feel like there is like a message to be had, taking the time out and allowing yourself to go a little bit slower. You are giving with all of these facial expressions right now, just so you know.
Giving.
You're giving.
Would you like to elaborate what you mean?
I've never heard of that phrase. You are giving. It's giving. It's giving.
Yeah, but giving with the facial expressions. What do you mean?
Your facial expressions are giving.
You mean I'm acknowledging and hearing what you're saying?
You're making lovely facial expressions. It's giving.
I've got the rest. I've got fucking forgotten.
Oh, you don't realize. Sorry, but it's cute.
No, so basically, when I was like younger, I used to go into London and get loads of cheeseburgers and give it to the homeless. And I'm so focused on doing this on a bigger level, like going to LA with £2,000 and getting 20,000 cheeseburgers, that you're right, I'm forgetting about just going to London tomorrow and giving out 10 cheeseburgers, and that fulfillment will be enough. I don't need to save £2,000 to go traveling and then help loads of Ukrainians and Africans build a mud hut and homeless in LA. I can just go to London. So it's like I'm trying to expand before I've even
you don't even have to just go to London though. You can do it like in the community that you're in right now. And also, can I just say that I don't think, in my personal opinion, I don't think that a hamburger is the most uplifting thing to give them. They will get diseases and die. It would be more loving to give them a salad. Just saying.
I don't think homeless people like salad. I'm pretty sure they like a bit of beef because, they're dwindling away from lack of nutrition. So they need a bit of steak, a bit of iron, or some fucking lettuce they can get in the farm to build,
McDonald's. That's just going to make them die faster. What are you trying to do them a favor, or are you fucking them over?
Well, they're going to fucking die of a drug overdose, so they might as well enjoy McDonald's before they go.
True. Well, each to their own, but beggars can't be choosers. So you get whatever the fuck I want to give you. Otherwise, get yourself out of that situation. Obviously, it's not as that sounds a bit heartless, but
Have some
you know
compassion,
where I'm going.
Geneice.
Yeah. Sorry, homeless people. I
No,
love
but what you're saying is it was true. I need to meditate more rather than think more about how to get out of my situation. Because when I meditate, I'll feel that groundedness where I will not need anything because I have it, rather than sitting in the jacuzzi, already a blessing, thinking about how can I get there now, feeling anxious how I'm not there now, and thinking how the fuck can I get there. In fact, I just need to let it go, meditate long enough that I'm just so grounded that I don't want to leave this spot and I can't be asked to think about.
You know what just came to me? I feel like you should meditate on gratitude of or how grateful you are where you are right now, and how grateful that you are for the opportunities to give in a way, because obviously, like, where thoughts go, energy flows. So if you're in a state of gratitude and already in the, rather than thinking, how do I get there? If you're in a state of, I'm already there. Oh, wow, look, thumbs up. Did you see that? It just disappeared. It just came on your
Put
screen.
your thumb down. I don't want things flying up on a screen.
No, did you know? It did just fly up on the screen. Did you miss it? It was a thumbs up. It was acknowledging what I was saying. I don't know why it didn't. It just disappeared. It was a bubble. I'm surprised you missed it.
Yeah.
But I can't remember what I was saying. But yeah,
you were saying how I need to meditate on gratitude that I'm in my situation.
Yeah, and also as well, like, envisioning yourself already acting how you would once you're there, because then you're speeding up the manifestation process of, because you already are what it is that you wish. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I would say start on a small scale as well, because even when you're saying like, oh, I realize I can go to London, you don't need to go to London. You can go outside your doorstep and help someone that's crossing the road. Is that your dog?
Yeah, dog, I'm trying to do a fucking podcast. Shut it. Right, so basically what you're saying is that I need to go into a meditation and be grateful for my current situation and vision what I'm going to be doing when that time comes. It almost feels like I'm already there.
Not visualizing what you're going to do, visualize what you are doing and then acting on those visualizations. So in short, you are going out in your community, because essentially in 2 years time, when you are in LA and you are blah blah blah, you're visualizing what you would be doing there, but visualizing it, doing it where you are now. So then you're vibrating at the frequency of, I am attracting that reality, I am manifesting that reality, because I am already it. I am expecting this energy to further come towards me, and I'm in a state of learning and growing and using my muscle of giving now to further amplify that future at a later date. Because if you believe, like I do, that the past, the present, and the future simultaneously exist in the now, and if we are energetical beings, if I'm here in the now worrying about, oh, how am I going to get here, all that is going to do is attract an energy that I'm projecting into the future of when I am there. All I'm doing is worrying about when I'm going to get there. So it's like a pattern. Whereas and the same thing can happen in the past. If I'm in the present moment and I'm visualizing, or I'm thinking about, oh, I fucked up yesterday. All I'm doing, I can't get back to the past. I'm draining this energy on something that cannot change, and I'm taking myself away from the now. Whereas if I'm here right now, visualizing a positive future, and I'm sending my energies over there, when I get there, it's literally building a little safe haven for me to further like build on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so all the stuff that I want to do, say in LA or whatever, just simply go to London and start doing it. I don't have to go to LA.
Why do you feel like you have to do it in London though?
Well, because like where I live in basically the countryside. There's no one there. There's no homeless. There's no people.
There's no homeless.
Not really. Like, no, there isn't. I can't. There's no homeless people where I live. Like London's a big city. I want to have an impact. You know, I want to help 20, not 1. And obviously London's the nearest major city where there is all this stuff. And I don't want to do it too close to home, because I kind of feel like that's my home. Like, you don't shit in your doorstep. Even I'm not taking a shit, I don't want to do things that are on my doorstep, you know?
Why? Especially if it's positive though, because like, don't you think like the human race is our community? So whether it's London, whether it's Mumbai, whether it's downstairs at your local community center, I'm pretty sure, maybe not in your town or whatever, maybe that you are not consciously seeing it, but I'm pretty sure that there are charities and organizations in and around the area that you live in that are desperate for help, because other people in your community may have the same mindset of like, I want to help more, but the thing is, it's like, it shouldn't matter about who that more is or where that more is, you know? It's like when I read something recently and it was like, when you ask God, I don't believe in the word God, but like when you ask the creator for wisdom, does he give you wisdom or does he give you opportunities to be wise? When you ask the creator to be rich, does he give you money or does he give you opportunities to make money? Do you know what I mean? And it's like, if you're asking to help, who are you to be picky as to who deserves that help or who needs the most help? I feel like it's beneficial to humanity to help whoever is in need without the discrimination of, oh, it's not enough, because one person then adds up to another, then adds up to another. And then by the time you know it, you look back in the past and even in it. And I'm just saying this, like, obviously I get it. Like if you want to go to London and you have the access to go to London, then by all means go to London. But like for people that aren't in a situation of, because I feel like it still adds to that whole wanting to be somewhere else to make a difference, whereas you can do the thing that you want with the resources that you have in the place that you are, and it will still be impactful. And when you look back, it still adds up to, fuck, maybe I didn't help 20 people all in a one period of time, but like maybe the energy that I've like given now in to a closer proximity, the time that you've traveled to London, let's say it takes you like an hour there and back or whatever, in that time you could have gone down to your doorstep and helped 5 people, as opposed, do you know what I mean? Like time is money, but you know, but that's just my opinion anyway.
Yeah, I think it might be related to, I don't want people to know what I'm doing who know me. It's almost like I don't want any praise and credit for helping this person doing this or that. I like the praise and the credit, but I'm not doing it for the praise or the credit. I'm doing it for the present moment of how I feel serving and helping that person. And my dad has the same problem. He's a singer. He doesn't like singing in his local pubs because people know him and see him, even though he likes the attention. So he will sing outside of his local area. Maybe I've unconsciously picked up on his pattern and habits of not wanting people to see the value you have. And there's no reason why you wouldn't want it. Like maybe that's what it is. I don't want people to see, say, the value I have locally because I don't need the credit. But for some reason, it might be like this credit, value, pride, gratitude is like a deep emotion that I longed for and yearned for, which is easily accessible, which is uncomfortable feeling because I wanted it so bad. Now it's here. I don't know.
Do you live in a small village?
I mean, pretty much, yeah. Like the local town is just like I don't know, choose any place in London and then divide it by 3. It's just like
Oh, it's a town.
It's a town. Yeah, it's a town.
Everyone's gonna know, but
huh?
Not everyone will find out. I live in it. I'm from a small town. Wait, what is your town called? Are we allowed to say that? No one will know where you live. Do you want to disclose that information?
Windsor, where the Queen lives.
Windsor? Oh, okay. I understand why there's no homeless people in Windsor.
Yes, that's right, because my ancestors grew up here and they made sure that no one could enter the castle.
You didn't deserve to be there.
Yeah, so so you're right. There is no reason why I can't just start local. It's like, you know, I've always wanted to be a billionaire, and it's like I can live my life on 50k. Why do I need £1 billion when I just need 50k to get my cabin, get my land, get my camper van, have as much food as I want, massage every week? Why the fuck do I need billions when I just need a short amount? Why do I need to have a huge fucking mansion when I can just have a huge cabin? Like,
It's
It's
because we've
always
been,
extreme.
I think it's because we've been programmed to consume. We're in a consuming society, and it benefits the what are they called? Not
Elite.
Yeah, the elite. I was going to say something else, but yeah, it benefits them. So you keep on working for
More is
them.
more, even though less
Yeah,
is more.
exactly that, love. Exactly that. And think about that mindset, wanting to go to London to help people. Think about how many London, oh my God, I was going to say the wrong word. Think about how many London homeless people have got so many opportunities to make money. And think about the homeless people in Windsor with these. I have to be very mindful of the things that I say these days because I just want to go out and say what comes out of my brain. And then I'm like, oh shit, no, cancel culture. I can't say that.
Oh my
Like
God.
a richer culture at Windsor. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like they're not as I could be wrong. I could be chatting complete shit. I feel like they're not probably as open to help homeless people as they are in cities.
What's so interesting is that you know how you just said you just want to say what comes out your head, but then you've got to be mindful of how it's going to be perceived. Well, my best friend and me were in David Lloyd,
Yeah.
and I was saying something to along the lines of people live their whole life just to retire and come to David Lloyd, whereas I live it every single day. And I've basically got an old man, John, who is that person who's lived his whole life. And now he plays tennis every day at David Lloyd. And I was saying it, knowing that he's that person, knowing that.
Wait. But your best friend is that person?
No, my best friend's just next to me, but there's a
Oh, okay.
man who's at David Lloyd who is that.
Did he hit you?
Yeah, he's right there, but it was like I was just saying it, knowing he was there, trying to get a reaction, knowing that I'm not saying anything wrong, knowing that you're basically the stereotype in question. And my best friend felt really uncomfortable, and he was like, "Ollie, you can't say that." I'm like, "Why? I'm just speaking like thoughts. Like it's up to him how he responds." And he's like, "Yeah, but you can't say that." And I'm like, "Why?" Like I'm just speaking. If he wants to take it offensively, that's his fucking choice. But
Yeah.
it's like what you just said. We can just speak freely. And yes, it's everyone else's responsibility to choose how they react and respond. But we kind of do have a level of responsibility through knowing what we know, whatever, to not rub it
Sure.
in people's faces.
Okay. It's interesting because like I recently I never really like read comments or like get up and involved in people's comments. But so I follow this girl called Maddie Webb on Instagram, and she's like this social influencer. I really love her vibe. Like she speaks so eloquently, and she's like all about pro women and whatnot, whatever. And she recently went to Coachella, and she is part Indian, and like her grandparents are Indian and whatnot, and you can tell that she's got like something in her. So she goes to Coachella, and every year at Coachella, she dresses in like Indian clothes or like a sari or whatever. And then this year, she dressed in a sari, and then she did a post about it. And I'm not gonna lie, like how she sounded in it, like I can understand how some people may have got offended or whatever. But she was basically like on the phone to her Indian grandparents, and she was like, "Do you like my?" And it was, I'm not gonna do it just in case I offend anyone, even though I speak in all the time.
I'll do it. Do you like my?
Let's not go there. But anyway, so she was speaking to her Indian grandparents in her Indian accent and like doing the head wobble, which Indians are known to do when they speak. No shade, like it's a beautiful, it's part of the culture, right? And then she was like, "Oh, like I've got a bindi on," and then her grandparents were laughing, having a little giggle, blah blah blah. The fucking internet blew up and was like, "Oh, she's a racist, like she's cultural appropriating because she's wearing her sari to Coachella, she's whitewashing," like all of these things. Literally, they came after her, and then I'm up in the comments like, people need to fucking chill. Like they were basically saying because she did an Indian accent, and that she's like mocking the Indian culture, that she's racist, and she's all of these things. That I literally took it personally because we do accents like all the time. And I posted in there and I was like, the world needs to chill the fuck out. Like the world is way too fucking sensitive these days. And I've literally been going back and forth having like arguments and debates with people in the chat, and one thing that really fucking frustrates me like about the world that we live in this day and age is firstly the separation. When like I remember seeing, and I'm going from subject to subject, but it all coalesced in the end. Like there was this white woman, she was born like white, blonde, whatever, like I think she was like Ukrainian or Polish or something like that, and then she ended up getting massive breast implants. She melanated her skin so she looked like me or darker. She wanted to be black. She did her hair in cane rows, and the black the black community were outraged by this, and they were basically saying like, you're not black, blah blah blah. Fair enough, like I get it, like physically she's not black, but this woman is trying to imitate your culture because she likes it. How dare? And this is what fucking pisses me off. Like if I speak in an Irish accent, I'm not Irish. I wasn't born in Ireland and I don't have any Irish heritage that I know of, but because I speak in an Irish accent, I'm now fucking racist. And it pisses me off when people try to make or when people try to, and I'm going to be very mindful with how I say this because I understand like the world that we're living in terms of, especially with like gender and like pronouns and whatnot. I accept you. I accept people for whoever the fuck they feel like they are. For a long time, I used to say I'm a man inside of a woman's, I'm a gay man inside of a woman's body. And for a long period of a time, I actually believed I was an alien. Now, in this day and age, I can go around saying that my pronouns are I'm an alien or I'm a gay man inside of a woman's body. People can accept me for me. If not, they don't accept me. But what pisses me off is when people force themselves upon you, say, I don't want to be addressed like this or blah, 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 and expect the whole world to accept you or to accept how you want to be perceived. I feel like people need to like love themselves for who they are. And I think that we need to not be so sensitive and uptight with if somebody else doesn't accept you or if somebody else is offending you, because at the end of the day, like, you can only control how you feel. If you said something that was offensive to me, and especially if you didn't mean for it to be offensive, it's my problem if I get offended. It's not your problem for offending me, because I'm the one that chooses how I feel. I'm the one that chooses how I react. And if I don't understand why I've reacted in a certain way and I've been triggered, it's my responsibility to take accountability for my triggers and understand why does this affect me in the way it does, rather than blaming other people for my issues.
Absolutely. So without mentioning a name, I went on holiday to Turkey, and you know, the Turkish man, he was driving the bus. He's like, okay, next stop is the Calavana Hotel. And I went back in the accent. Okay, sir, where is the nearest kebab shop? The person I was with was appalled. She was like, you're racist. I can't believe you just did that. I don't want to be associated with you. You're embarrassing. Everyone else was just embarrassed by you. Couldn't believe that. I'm like, who? Did anyone say like who? Who's embarrassed by me? Did they say, are you just feeling the pressure? Cut a long story short, they're a vegan. So they're all about people's feelings and, you know, respect me and I'll respect you. Veganism, transgender issues, racism. It's all about touchy subjects rather than people being responsible for how they react. You're always sugarcoating things and giving people a pillow to fall on so they don't hurt themselves. They're always softening the blow. If you think you're a penguin, I'll call you Pingu. If you think you're a gay man in a woman's body, I'll fucking, you know, give you a beer, right? It's all about, oh, you're that? Well, I'll do this. Rather than, okay, fine, you can do that and do this, but how about I do what the fuck I want as well? Yeah? You can believe that you're a penguin. I'm going to do an accent. Why is that any different to you? First of all, not racist. I'm just doing an accent. Why can you do an Irish accent if you're white, but you can't do a Turkish accent if you're white? But then if you're, you know, black, you can do you can't do another black accent. It's like one rule for one rule for the other, right?
Do you not think that maybe the kebab thing though? You say like when you repeated it back in an accent, I was like, okay, and then I had the kebab thing. I was like, oh.
Well, first of all, I don't think that was the statement. It was just me kind of coming up with. I did it in a Turkish accent. I was like, thank you, sir, for dropping us off. Right, just me, as you knew me. I'm just hearing it and I'm mimicking it. Okay,
Yeah.
that's it. Mimicking the sound. If I hear a cow, I go right.
Yeah, same.
Um,
But this is the thing though. I think that people put too much emphasis on like innocent things. Like I get it in a sense where like if you're in a situation and someone is bullying or someone is mocking you or someone is doing it with negative intentions, and I find that sometimes like if there's a fine line between are you taking the fucking piss out of me or then it's like I can understand someone getting offended if someone was intentionally racist towards me. Do you know what I mean? But even if I was in that situation personally, and it may sit different with me as well because I'm mixed race, I understand that it's deeper, or in my experience, my let's say darker friends would probably or have taken comments more offensively, and they've said to me it's because they're darker skinned, I get away with it because I'm light skinned or whatever, which technically could be considered its own type of thing, but I don't care. We're all humans at the end of the day. But like if someone did come at me with racism, if anything, like I would feel sorry for them. I'm not going to get angry. I'm not going to get like so offended, like, oh, you have, because at the end of the day, like I know my truth. I know that this person is probably ignorant. I know that there's some lack of education there if they're going to have that mentality. And a lot of the time they probably experience some hateful things to make them be hateful to begin with. So it's like if someone is going to approach me with that low negative vibration, am I going to lower my vibration to meet them, or am I going to just ignore them and be like, okay, you're a weirdo, but keep on doing you, man, see how well that gets you? Do you know what I mean? Like there's no point in getting fucking pissed off at someone. And even if they do mean it intentionally, I feel like we need to as a collective, I feel like we need to learn to love ourselves so much that it doesn't matter if somebody else doesn't see you the way that you see yourself. Do you know what I mean? Because like once you're full of love for yourself, it doesn't give a fucking shit. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks of you, how anyone else addresses you. Like people actually, yeah, I get it. Some people may call me a bitch. You know what? I've accepted that I can be fucking bitchy sometimes, and that's okay. Why not get angry at you for calling me a bitch? Like, oh, do you know what I mean? How have we been talking for so long?
that's what happens when you just talk. So you've got, how you doing for time?
Gotta go soon.
How long have you got?
Let's say I've got until 8 o'clock. What time did we come on?
Don't know, you're fucking about your laptop for like 10 past. So I think we started about quarter past.
Yeah, I'm joking.
Anyway, so what my best friend also said is that, you know, I don't do these things with malicious. I do things with like an innocence. And he says it's beautiful. So for example, if I'm in supermarket and I hear some person who's got handicap issues sort of making noises, I can't help but a laugh, not at him, but my own childish amusement of that noise is funny. I can't be in aisle 4. I've got to go down to fucking aisle 50 because I can't hear that noise. The child comes out in me. If I see like, I don't know, man with one leg hopping, it's not a negative, it's not malicious. It's just, I find everything amusing. I find a pigeon.
We also disclose, right? Also, like you have Tourette's, right? No, not Tourette's.
Exactly. Yeah, have had Tourette's, whatever, right? I'm also mixed race.
I think that it's important for people to know this as well. Like, no shade, no hate, but I think like you may equate things differently to how other people do as well. So that's probably like some people wouldn't find that funny. Do you know what I mean? And also, that is very innocent for you to have that like inner child like nature.
Yeah, that is also interesting because
people would judge you for.
Yeah, so that's also interesting because you could say it's because of my Tourette's how my brain operates and doesn't see the negative, and I just see the amusement. But actually, what's interesting is it might be because I've had judgment my whole life. Man with one leg, a disabled person, Tourette's person, somebody with a missing eye, you know, whatever. I've been so used to being judged that I don't see the issue judging other people. That also might be why I'm able just to sort of just laugh at what somebody might call as somebody who's less fortunate than you. It's not, I think I'm more fortunate or you're any less than me. It's just I've grown up where everything is funny. My dad says stop laughing, and I laugh more. He says it's not funny, and I laugh more, or pack
Maybe
it in,
that's
and
a
I just
coping,
laugh.
maybe that's a coping mechanism though, because from a and who am I to say what is right or what is wrong or whatever. I think I recently watched this thing of this guy, and he was basically saying there is no right and there's no wrong, there are just choices.
Yes.
But from a normal, this hashtag thing normal perspective of society, that would not be acceptable. Like that's,
Yes.
to like laugh at someone's handicap or to laugh at someone's some people would probably find that as cruel. But also, if they were to be you in your brain, in your experience, maybe they would view it in a different way, because then there will be more understanding as to why you express yourself that way.
But yeah, it's not even like, ha, look at him making this noise. No, it's
I find
just
it funny.
I'm hearing a noise, and I'm for whatever reason
Making
my
me laugh.
brain is finding the noise. And again, it could be a cow, it could be a child, it could be a handicapped person, it could be a fucking speakerphone.
So basically, what you're saying is you don't discriminate on what makes you laugh. It's just if it makes you laugh, it makes you laugh. That's what you find funny. That's your humor.
That is absolutely spot on. It's my
Yeah.
own selfish amusement of what makes me feel good. I love laughing and seeing the joy and the funny side to everything, even though it's not funny. The teacher, if somebody throws a rubber at someone's head at school, I'll find it funny. If somebody is talking and I see a bit of spit and it lands on their nose, it's funny. I can't help but find everything funny, because the emotion of humor and funny is a nice feeling, versus anger and sad and depressed and hating the world. So it's almost like it's an opportunity to laugh through no judgment of the person. The person's absolutely irrelevant. As I said, it could be a speaker.
It's your sense of humor. It's what you find funny.
Exactly. It's not the person, it's that sound,
Environment.
that noise, the environment. Yeah. Yeah. Before we end, anything you want to plug or promote?
I don't think you're funny.
Okay, well, I wasn't asking you.
I'm joking. I'm so funny. But yeah, no, I would say, it's actually a contradiction to what I've actually been speaking about. It's difficult, isn't it? It's difficult. There's no right and there's no wrong. There's just choices that we do in life. And I just feel like the world would be a better place if we put less judgment on other people for making choices that we wouldn't necessarily make ourselves. And I also think the world would be a better place if we had more understanding and more compassion for people's experiences. And also, lastly, I'm going to say, more is not more. Less is more. Going back to our original conversation, less is more, and you can do a lot in your time. All you have to do is use your mind to be creative. Where there is a will, there is a way.
Okay, and lastly, I think if you one day left to live, before you drop that mic, if you had one day left to live and you had one thing to say to the world, what would it be?
Embrace it.
That's the best answer anyone's ever given. One word.
Actually, it's not one word, is it?
No, it's two. Okay.
Literally, like when you said the world was going to end, I just envisioned like a massive meteorite pummeling towards the earth. And it's just like, why run? Yeah, embrace it. Like, why run away? We're here together. Let's hold hands, unite in this moment, and then see what's on the other side. Embrace it. Also, as well, we have to. So wait, really quickly, off tangent. But I read somewhere, watched something, found this information out. How you die, the energy that you die in will come back in another life if you believe in reincarnation. So like if I die in fear, the next life I come into, I have that fear coming into the next life. So if you die in a peaceful way, that is like the peaceful setting for the next stage. So that's what I got to embrace it. Don't fear things, embrace it.
Absolutely agree. Right, let me end that there.
What is yours? One thing you would say.
Well, I absolutely would like to agree with you. It's like when a cow gets butchered. If he's tense, the meat in the supermarket is tense and like tough. If the cow thinks he's going to the beach, and he's like trotting into this van into the beach. He's all happy, he's flowing, he's got his pina colada and his hat on, and he gets shot in the head. He's relaxed. Meat's lovely and juicy. Fill it for 50 quid. You're right. If you leave this body negatively, your energy ends negatively. If you leave it positively, it's now positively. And that's what you attract into the next life. You attract into a positive soul or a negative soul based on how you ended. So you're right. If you end it with asteroid hit me, yeah, or if you go, you're going to come back as a cow or a fucking like angel.
So what is your one word?
Willies. My one word is
I knew it.
My one word is childish, inner child.
I know what you're going to reincarnate into. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's been a pleasure. Love that you just went into the thing. I didn't know where we was going, but we went here. Marvelous.
Thanks for listening. If you like this episode, please remember to subscribe, turn the bell notifications on, like the episode, and comment below. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's YesKingOliver. Take a look at the other videos to your side. And if you just want to listen to this podcast, you can do so on Apple and Spotify and most other platforms by going to talkwitholiver.com.